skeptic metaphysicians, we could not be more excited to have you join us on this journey of discovery, particularly because our guest today is taking us down a rabbit hole that not many shows have explored. Like I mentioned at the beginning, the Covenant of Palador is a cosmic treaty that was initiated by the forces of light in the higher dimensions to protect and guard the Earth from the Draco forces. Now, his name is Ismael Perez, and he is a volunteer starseed who represents the Alliance and is here to bring forth the next level of cosmic disclosure that will restore our planet back to its original glory in fulfillment of the galactic prophecies. Absolutely chomping in the bit to talk with him, so let's not waste any more time and say hello to Ismael Perez. Ismael, welcome to the show.
Thank you guys for having me here. It's an honor to be here at this time in service to humanity and more so in service to the organic way of life. As many people have known that, we're not dealing with the cabal. We're not even dealing with regressive fallen Elohim, whatever you want to call them, Draco. We're actually dealing with artificial intelligence, at the highest level of reality. Not only is our enemy artificial intelligence, but it is the enemy of the entire multiverse. Yeah, we're been involved in this cosmic war with an alien sentient AI that actually didn't even have its origin in our universe. It had its origin in a different universe, in a different creation prior to the existence of our local universe. So for those that don't see it as a multiverse, this is going to be the first level of the rabbit hole you're about to come in, because there is proven data by quantum physics and super string theory and leading edge scientists that definitely tell us, and they give us validation that we live in a multiverse. That in fact, there are new and new universes being born each day. So this phenomena known as the Big Bang, which is what they call the beginning point of our universe, that took place approximately, 13.7 billion years ago, is actually a phenomena that is taking place every second in time. Every day, new and new universes are being born, new beginnings are happening. So going back to the conflict with AI, this has been a huge dilemma in the entire cosmos, in the entire omniverse, to the point where the guardian races from the higher levels of reality, and I'm not talking about Pleiadians, Arcturians, Blue Avians, Andromedans. I'm talking about beings from levels of reality beyond the physical dimensions, beyond the, fifth level of reality, or even beyond the galactic structures of reality. When we look up at the sky, we're only seeing the galaxies. We're talking about beings that occupy the other 96% of the so-called missing matter. So that's another big, revelation, is that dark matter and dark energy is really reality vibrating at higher frequencies. So that's the other 96%, and so these beings hail from the highest levels of reality, and they're doing it for a reason. First and foremost, the Earth happens to be we could call it the potpourri, the amalgamation, the Noah's Ark of the entire multiverse. And for many, many reasons, it is the planet that was chosen long ago by the higher levels, by the councils of the eternal of days, which again, these are levels of realities that exist within the realms of eternity. Because we are part of a finite realm. We exist within a local material physical universe that had a beginning, right? Of course, so that they call it the finite realm. But there is a level of reality beyond the local universes that are related and associated with realms that have never had a beginning or end. So that's what I mean. I'm talking about cosmic celestial intelligences that are part of these realms that for the first time in cosmic history had to actually intervene in order to make sure that this intergalactic experiment known as, us, comes into fruition. And what do I mean by an intergalactic experiment? It turns out that when the AI war broke out 300 and some billion years ago, in the 11th creation, which was a new universe that was devoted to machinery and technology, apparently that AI, quickly destroyed all biological life forms, but it realized that in order for it to exist, it had to plug in into living systems as a battery resource. So that's when it was able to use universal life force coming from living organic universes. And it was able to figure out how to break or how to leak into other realities or other universes. And so our universe became plagued with it and other surrounding universes as well. And so this thing has been for billions of years, it went on a rampage where it was actually destroying galaxies left and right. Whole universes were erasing from existence due to the fact that it was sucking up the life force of these universes. So to the galactics and to the cosmic community, it is known as a cosmic virus. And so the solution for this cosmic virus came about when the Council of Eternal Days, those that are associated with the Emerald Covenant of the Seal of Pallador, which are the guardian races, the always existing race. I call them the central race because they come from the central universe. That's when they actually had to step in and figure out a solution to put an end to this cosmic virus. And the solution came in the form of combining the best celestial genetics from all the different humanoid races, not only within our universe, but throughout the entire multiverse, and putting them all in one spot to create an extraordinary super race that would exceed every other race ever in the history of the cosmos. But not only do they, yeah, I know it's crazy. We're the end result.
I mean, you are dropping. It's like breakneck speed. I'm not even. So I've got approximately 15,782 questions.
All right. Yeah, you can ask questions.
Oh God, where do I even start? AI.
Mm-hmm.
This is a lot of information that you just unloaded in the last 8 minutes. Literally, we've been on the air for 8 minutes and you unloaded an entire different way of thinking than anything we've ever heard before, to your point. I know that you channel messages from interdimensional beings and things like that, right? I'm assuming that's how you've gotten this information?
It's a combination of intuitive downloads from, I guess, my star family, my galactic self, my ancestors, and also through tangible research to verify the information. And that's how I was able to write my book, Our Cosmic Origin. It's not just all, theoretical. It's actually backed by cutting edge real science. And so that's what I do. It's a combination of both. I get the downloads and then I do the research to confirm.
Well, that's exciting to me because a lot of times we talk to people that don't have that type of scientific research. Can you share some of that research with us? I mean, how can we know? How did you know? How did you corroborate all that stuff?
Well, it's a combination of reading ancient manuscripts and also higher classified information that it's only accessible to those that are at a very high level of clearance. And the only reason I was able to tap into some of that information is because the doctor who defected from this organization, known as the Labyrinth Group, well, I guess that's the inner court, but the Labyrinth Group is the outer vehicle for that is known as the Advanced Contact of Intelligent Organization. Yeah, they're the depository of all breakaway groups. So everything, when it comes to dealing with extraterrestrials, alien technology, they have the most. They're the depository of that. They have all the records that were given to them by the different non-terrestrials, records that they were able to verify from their own research. But of course, it's very classified, and only a few people have been able to access some of this information. And so one of the doctors actually defected, and when he defected, he's was able to disclose a lot of this stuff, but he's no longer with us. So I dedicate this interview to him. He was a lot of the information that he disclosed actually was verified by the Advanced Contact of Intelligent Organization, which is information that they wanted to keep from the Earthlings for many, many years. And again, it had a lot to do with this cosmic AI war that we've been having against artificial intelligence. They call it by the name of the Animus. That's the name of this AI collective that has been destroying galaxies left and right for billions of years.
So the more you talk, the more questions I have. But there was one question that just came out of the introduction that's very basic, and it's not even anywhere near where we want to go with this. But so in the introduction, Will mentioned that you're a volunteer starseed. So I thought either you were a starseed or you weren't. I didn't know it was something you could volunteer for. Can you tell me a little bit about how that came about?
Sure. So basically, the restoration and liberation of the Earth is a two-way process. Mm-hmm. When the Earth was hitting in a negative trajectory due to the explosion of the atom bomb, as a planet, as a sentient being, she called out for help. And of course, it was arranged with the galactic councils and the guardian races, of course, the spiritual councils of the Elohim that are even beyond our galaxy, to invite millions and billions of advanced souls from the higher dimensions into the Earth and be born in human bodies in order to bring forth a higher vibration through their energy essence. They were able to raise the collective frequency and fortunately bring the Earth out of that timeline that was heading towards nuclear destruction. And so that was the first thing. The second way was to also infiltrate the human race by not only being born here, but by eventually, as we grew, we would actually have these abilities. A lot of the starseeds or wanderers, they go by various names. Some people call them wanderers, crystal children, indigos, rainbow children. Those are all the different, I guess, terminologies that a lot of people are labeling them with. But overall, what they are is they're actually celestials. There's a difference between celestial intelligence and terrestrial. Terrestrials start the evolution from the bottom up, and so they go through the gradual ascent process of becoming first a mineral, and then a plant, and then an animal, so on and so forth. Whereas celestials, they begin their origins from the top down, but they're involved in a process of descent, rather of involution, not evolution, which is the descent of spirit into matter. So pretty much the celestials are the ones that are how can I say it? They're the ones that are orchestrating everything.
They're orchestrating everything that's happening here on Earth, or everything altogether.
Well, I guess because we are living in an organic living simulation, everything is a thought projection from the celestials. So,
you say things just like, oh yeah, by the way, we're organic thought simulations. What?
They're the ones that allowed for us to come into human form so that we could change the trajectory of the Earth. So that's what we are. We volunteer to come save the Earth in order to, and also to become the first, I guess, pioneered, or the first to emerge as the next stage of human evolution, which is already happening as our dormant DNA kicks in. So scientists for a period of time now have been predicting the rise of the next stage, which they call Homo neoticus. Well, Homo neoticus was part of the forces of life, part of their plan to bring forth higher dimensional souls into human bodies in order to begin the activation process of the dormant, alien DNA that we all carry, so that we can become the guardian race that we were intended to become from the beginning. So that's why we're here. We're here to not only save the Earth, but eventually to save the organic way of life.
Gotcha. And so then you're here to fight off the animus, then, to help us.
Oh, I'm not working by myself.
Right.
The whole team that's down here. Exactly.
Sure. Now, so you said this has been going on for billions of years.
Correct. Yeah.
Is there an end in sight? Is there a way to get rid of the animus altogether? Or is this just an ongoing fight that will always be here?
Oh, no. It does have an end. And that's why we are the solution to that. It turns out that this intergalactic experiment of combining the best energy signatures and biologies from across the multiverse and putting it to one genome, we are at the end result of that experiment. So we are the chosen race. Not only that, but we also carry within our genes a defense mechanism that is going to act as an EMP that is going to literally destroy all the black goo, nanotech, and everything that's associated with AI. And as we become galactic and multidimensional again as a result of our dormant DNA activating, we do also eventually win the war against the AI that we're developing here in our world. So if that war doesn't take place for 1,000 years, but because the future and the past are existing simultaneously with the present, it's all happening at once, you could say that we've already won that war. So now we're just seeing it play out here in the present, because we're at the hub. We're at the hub of every probability, every possibility, both going forward and backward in time.
You're saying that this in 1,000 years, it's going to end. But
well, yeah, because that's when the timelines are going to reemerge. Right now, the timelines are going to be separated. We're going to have the 5D timeline, right? Heaven on earth, biological ascension, spiritual ascension. And then we're going to have the five, I guess what's the word, golf timeline, transhumanism, cyborg, the age of AI. So they're going to coexist separately, but at the end of the millennium, they're going to kind of reemerge. And that's when the final battle takes place between what I call the angelic meta-humanoids who did it naturally by the activation of dormant DNA, and of course the cyborgs and the AIs that did it by merging with technology.
So now this might be a dumb question, but with everything going on with climate change, is the planet going to last that long? I mean, I think about that. I'm like, 1,000 years, man. We're having hurricanes and droughts and all kinds of craziness. Like, what's your take on that?
Well, the planet is going through a transformation herself. She's also shifting density. She's going to become less dense. She's going into the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension. Those that are making the positive 70 timeline. So the planet is going to be overnight when the shift takes place, the Great Solar Flash. It's going to be automatically, we could say her entire ecosystem is going to be back to normal. So it's not going to be the planet that we have right now that is like hanging by a thread. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a totally new, restored and replenished Earth, which is already existing, by the way, in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension. We're just going to like translate over into that reality. So the planet also exists on different dimensions. You have the third dimensional Earth, right? And existing in harmonic universe number 1, which is the lowest density of the harmonic universal systems. And then you have higher dimensional Earths like Terra Earth, Gaia, Arimathena, and then finally the highest version of Earth exists on dimensions 13, 14, and 15, and that is Sophia. So eventually we're heading to merging with Sophia.
Wow. This is mind-blowing. It's expanding my consciousness as we speak, just because I'm trying to keep up with everything that you're talking about. So let's back up for a quick second. You mentioned this group of people that were really diving into this ET phenomena, for lack of a better word, but then we just had Congress at a big disclosure event several months ago that basically they said, we know something's up, but we don't know what it is. So is this organization that you got all this information from, I mean, I would assume it must be clandestine, but it's a governmental agency, or is it an independent agency?
It is an ultra secret organization that operates within the NSA. For the last 70 years, it was actually run by the negatives, by the cabal. But just so recently, ever since we ended the I guess what it's called, the Luciferian Manifesto control of the planet, the old Babylonian Old Guard, and we shifted to the Seal of Palador. In other words, the Seal of Palador, which is now established throughout our universe, and our galaxy has finally made it here. Things shifted. Now it's like the entire, or all secret organizations that have advanced scientific alien information are all now being forced to bring information to us, because now they're under the control of the White Hats, no longer the Dark Hats or the Alliance Hat.
I feel like we just crammed 6 episodes into one 20-minute segment.
I was just thinking that I'm like, we need like a glossary, like definitions and explanations, and one of those like Game of Thrones maps.
So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this episode and I'm going to outline the stuff, and then we may ask you to come back and say, okay, Ishmael, we're going to focus on just this. Mm-hmm. And so that we can kind of walk our baby steps through, because I think you've talked so far over our heads that I'm not sure that we are conscious enough to really understand everything, all the messages that you're bringing, which are really all important messages. Mm-hmm. Has anyone looked at you when you said the stuff that you said to us and gone, brother, do you need help? Because it's a lot. It's a lot, and it's so different than anything we've ever heard of before. We've had people like Elizabeth April on the show who talks about ET and 5D consciousness and things like that, and she never mentioned the animus. She didn't mention the volunteer starseeds and things like that, but it just seems like this is such a big departure on such a scientific way that I'm not sure I understand everything that you just said.
I guess I should break things down and begin with fundamentals before I just go into different,
Sorry, and then we're kind of just dipping our toe into stuff.
I thought they were smarter than that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's not that at all. No, it's just, I do interviews sometimes, and I feel like I'm speaking to the choir, so they want like deeper disclosure. So I always just kind of just share what I want to share, just to, even if you're on a very low level of awakening, this is the time to really just fall deep into the rabbit hole. So to me, it's just whoever's ready to resonate with this next level intel, I'm just going to share it.
For sure.
They'll be interested and they'll reach out and
for sure.
want to know more.
Yeah,
there's a lot of information in my book, Our Cosmic Origin, that is dense packed with cosmic and galactic knowledge. So that's a start. That's a start to really understand a lot of the stuff that I talk about.
Yeah. And we're going to add a direct link to our show notes to your book for sure. And I'm going to pick it up because I'm fascinated by all this stuff. And I knew we were going to be talking about this, but didn't realize just how deep of a rabbit hole we're going to go into.
Mhm.
And the time that we have will give us nowhere near enough time, honestly, because I do want to follow every little path that you drop down. So I hope that you will accept our invitation to come back again another time to go deeper into this stuff. I guess really the big question that I have now, other than the other 15,762 that are left, is how can we Earthlings, how can we help in this battle?
We are already, especially those in the truther community, those that are speaking out, those that are sharing their truth. It's all part of the Great Awakening. Every single person out there who has a channel, who's putting out content, even if it's just, this is what happened in Area 51. These are the hybrids that we're doing. This, even if it's just simple stuff like that, it's all bringing awareness. Even if it's just, this is what, the current, I want to call them imbecile, and the White House is doing. Even that is awakening people. So as long as people are out there speaking the truth, then the change is happening. We're all part of this, alliance. We don't have to be in the military to be part of the alliance of the White House. Just by merely speaking our truth, we're helping the alliance situation. We're helping.
So we're all trying to raise our vibration to the 5D and beyond. But it sounds like there's so much more than that. You mentioned that those of us that are just beginning our spiritual awakening, if someone wanted to learn more about this world, other than picking up your book, is there a way that someone can reach out to you and have a conversation with you?
Well, I do teach an online starseed cosmology course, which I go really deep. It's a 6-hour course divided in 3 classes. Each one's 2 hours. I give the content is for about an hour and 20 minutes, and then I leave the other 40 minutes for questions and answers. But oh my God, that one is such of a deep dive that as soon as people are done with the 3rd course, their whole level of consciousness has expanded exponentially. Their life is transformed. Not to mention, I do teach 2 meditative techniques that help you also reach your multidimensional galactic self. Because the truth is that we might be down here operating with the physical earthly avatar, but that's only a portion of our consciousness that is down here. The other 99% of our consciousness is still operating on different levels of reality with different avatars. That's how powerful we are. So we are multidimensional. So that's one of the things that I talk about is multidimensional integration. Is the idea that we are here down on the earth as boots on the ground, but at the same time, a lot of us are commanders. Some of us are operating, motherships. We're also doing work in higher dimensions. We just don't have access to that memory.
Is there a way to access those memories? It's curious. There are people out there who actually can say you are such and such in a different star seed area. But do you do things like that, or is there a way to do that?
I've been doing this stuff for a few years now. Actually, it was maybe a little over 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
but
so then
that's part of my course, my starseed cosmology course. I give you the information and knowledge that you need first. And once you unlock the galactic history, the knowledge of the cosmos, then it's going to trigger memories in you of who you were in these, throughout the galactic history. Because many of us were involved in those wars. Many of us came from Lyra, the Pleiadians, Orion, Alpha Centauri, many different star systems that the starseeds are coming from. And a lot of our worlds were blown up and destroyed throughout the galactic wars. So in order to really understand who you are, you have to understand our galactic history.
So if someone wanted to learn about that or take your course, things like that, what's the best place to go?
TheMysticArts.org, and I teach the Starseed Cosmology course in that link. And, also reading my book, that's like the first step. First you want to read my book. I guess you could do either, or take my course, read my book. They both complement each other. But yeah, there's a lot of information in my book, a lot of people that have been reading my book and that have, gathered a lot of, I guess, have been not only activated, but they are thanking me because in a lot of them, they had memories. Some of these people actually had memories of some of these wars. And so it's a book that activates, especially if you're a volunteered soul, it's definitely going to activate you.